Hi everyone. Today is again our charity showcase. But before I begin, I would like to check with everyone first. Which language you prefer us to present in? 未開始之前咧，我想同大家問一問先啊。你哋覺得我應該講廣東話好啲？因為今日嘅嗰個嘉賓咧，佢三種語言都得嘅，就係英文、普通話或者廣東話都得嘅。你哋覺得應該講邊一個語言好啲咧？我想睇一睇大家嘅意見。大家好，歡迎來到我們今晚的這個慈善的這個一個解說。這樣今晚的嘉賓呢，也是能同時說中文、英語和這個廣東話的啊，所以想請教大家，你們覺得我們應該用什麼語言來介紹今天的活動啊？好，在等大家的這個答覆之前呢，我先做一個短短的介紹啊。Tonight's charity showcase is actually on Kechara Food Kitchen. Okay, in this era of COVID-19, I think one of the needy area is the needy. That means those people who are in need of help. Actually, a lot of them are suffering a lot. So, organizations such as Kechara Food Kitchen is very, very important now in order to provide them with the essential supplies. Okay, so tonight we will understand more about the philosophy of how Kechara was formed and how the stakeholders and the volunteers in Kechara actually help the society overall. So before I introduce the guest speaker of the day, Mr. Justin, who is also the operation director of Kechara Food Kitchen, I'll play a video of which they share with us about how Kechara was founded.
No one should go hungry. His Eminence Cheah Rinpoche, the founder of Kechara Soup Kitchen, or in short, KSK, experienced the cold and hunger as a teenager in the USA. This experience motivated Rinpoche to set up KSK more than 10 years ago to ease the hardship of the less fortunate living on the streets in Kuala Lumpur. From handing out food, KSK is now working to reducing food wastage. With the generosity of kind Malaysians and volunteers from all walks of life, KSK distributes food to the poor, regardless of skin color and creed. Hence, KSK tagline, hunger knows no barrier.
Every year, about 1/3 of the food produced, which is equivalent to 1.3 billion tons or a value of $1 trillion, is wasted. Recognizing this, as Kechara Soup Kitchen is growing, we plan to not just feed the homeless, we're also planning to curb homelessness before it actually happens. That is the principal reason why we established Kechara Food Bank in 2012.
Saya ada 5 orang anak. Pagi dia orang tak ada breakfast, terus makan tengah hari dengan malam saja. Ada baru boleh bagi, tak ada macam mana nak bagi. Bila food bank hantar, hidup pun saya pun sudah ubah. Sekarang saya senang. Dia hantar saya susu, Milo dengan buah-buahan, makanan cukup.
Food bank is a new concept here in Malaysia. It acts like food storage and distribution depot to the non-profit organizations. Here at Kechara Food Bank, we strongly believe that having this food bank is the next effective way in ending homelessness and hunger.
Okay, thank you.
Well, how food bank works is that when we receive all these donations, we keep all this food into the refrigerator in our warehouse. Mostly it is all perishable goods and then sometimes dry provisions. We will redistribute it all to the needy families that we have already registered using our vans and trucks. We also distribute daily use items such as sanitary pads, detergents. Instead of buying those items, they are able to save up some money, use it on the emergency cases.
KSK has been partnering with Kechara Soup Kitchen since 2016 to help us channel out surplus food from all of our stores nationwide for the benefit of the underprivileged community. Since then, we have actually donated more than 500 tons of food that have benefited more than 170 charities nationwide. We believe the Kechara is an excellent platform for us to reduce food waste in Malaysia and also at the same time to give back to the community.
Well, Kechara Soup Kitchen has about 300 volunteers every week. They help with surplus food rescue, distributing food and other necessities and other things for the beneficiaries out there. Now, the organization is always looking for volunteers, and volunteers are important because in order to make sustainable work and very impactful work towards the beneficiaries, you actually need a constant stream of volunteers. And I think as a community, we can do a lot more. Volunteerism is actually one of the first ways to start.
I've been volunteering in Kechara Soup Kitchen for almost 3 to 4 years right now, and I feel the clients over here, they have limited access to reach the healthcare facilities. So by having this new IMU set up, we can do wound dressings, small surgical procedures here in a very controlled and most sterile environment. It is my pleasure to be here volunteering and helping them, because if we do not help them, who else would?
Volunteering in KSK has changed the way I view life. To me, the poor did not get into where they are because of laziness, but it's because of circumstances that's beyond their means. And it's also something that I never knew until I got involved. So I think we should never judge a book by its cover.
Quite heartbreaking to see people from the poor families suffering because of lack of food and malnutrition. Mainly it's affecting young children, and without this food they are not able to concentrate in their studies, and they're also suffering from many illnesses as a result of this. So we are grateful to Kechara Food Bank for supplying their surplus food, and this allows the children to be able to eat on a daily basis.
I'm teaching them to make bags from jeans. Learning to make a jeans bag is not easy. Even though it's tough for them, they will still come up to face the challenges. Actually, what we are trying to do is we are trying to empower the clients with skills to help them earn a living. At least they have a source of income for themselves.
那当一个社会可以团结起来的时候，我们不仅可以提供食物，还有必需品给有需要的人，这也是一种精神上的支持，来改善他们现在的困境。所以我觉得，身为马来西亚人，我们更应该回馈热情，还有好客的精神，来帮助更多有需要的人。
Menderita lah, pasal kita sudah tua, tak ada kerja, tak ada wang, jadi nak makan pun kadang-kala ada lah, kadang-kala tak ada.
To help ease their daily lives, I think there's an urgent need to have a food bank. It can also help them rebuild their lives, And Kechara Soup Kitchen is doing a food bank,
And I think that's a great start, and I think we have to create this awareness so that, we can all be a part of this.
At Kechara Soup Kitchen, we are always looking for ways to work with our government to help people to break the poverty cycle. For one, passion without financial sustainability is an issue we as an NGO always face. We aspire to grow our current setup in the more established food bank with a more efficient system and infrastructure to better serve our clients in need. The more lives we are able to touch, the more fulfilling our mission will be.
The food bank program is very encouraging, and we are very happy to say that the aforementioned food donors have inspired many more to come forth. KSK is appealing to kind sponsors to donate bigger premises for us to continue giving back to society.
Terima kasih Kechara Soup Kitchen atas pertolongan semua mencukupi.
總之啲人哋佢就幫㗎啦，佢冇理你咩嘢，嗱你乜水冇理嘅，佢就幫咗佢咁。I would like to thank Kechara for the noble things they are doing, which makes everybody happier. Thank you, Kechara.
Kechara Soup Kitchen is growing, and we need you. Come, join us.
Everybody wants to do something good. Yourself, myself. So let's do this. Come join Kechara Food Bank and make a difference.
For the benefit of more people, please come and join us. We need your help.
This is something that we all have to do. We have to make that awareness and not just watch it and say, oh, someone else is doing it. But if we can actually play a role in it, I think it will create a good change in society.
Wow, it's a very inspiring video. Okay, so Justin, good to see you. Okay,
Hello.
why are you in your car? Okay, I have to answer for you because when you're inside, I'm quite surprised to see that you are just off from your day. So off from your work, and you haven't even get back home yet, right? And you have to actually do it in your car to have a quiet place. So Justin, well, it's a I hope you have a fruitful day for today.
Yes, for sure. Every day is a fruitful day for me, actually, Vincent.
Okay.
And I'm
So,
very glad that I'm able to do this on a full-time basis to benefit people every day.
tell me, well, how do you get to know Kechara and how do you get to join it?
Well, I come across this activity back in 2007 itself. It's something very coincidence. I would say it's a coincidence that I bumped into this society in one of the road shows they held, and my interest just grew. I was thinking that what is homelessness is all about. I've never heard of it. You see, I mean, a lot of people would, or people who are new to homelessness, they would not call them homeless, but they will call them beggars, or people by the roadside. There are many different type of names that they adopt, but they have never. Homelessness is something really new, and that itself, I'm one of those who are in this category, to be honest with you. So I was like pretty interested, and I wanted to join and have a look because I felt in that 30 years of my life during that time, in 2007, I was thinking there's something missing in my life that I felt that maybe I should do something, but I don't know what it is until I found out about this activity and I felt like going. So when I go, it was a really eye-opening experience for me. I see poverty to the core when you're on the streets, when you see them, you see this elderly lady, you see this young gentleman. Why are they sleeping on the streets? Why are they living in such a life? Then I asked myself, and where myself, I literally, I have a stable life. I don't have much commitment. I I was in the bank and I was running my own business as well. Then I was asking myself, oh, okay, now I think I found something that I really like. I mean, no disrespect to whatever that I've been doing in the past, but it I felt a little bit empty, and I when I bumped into this activity, as I said, it really opened my eyes, and I felt like I wanted to do it every day or every week, and I will feel very uncomfortable when I don't do it. So it was quite a journey for me, but for the first time in my 30 years of my life, I found something that I like.
Okay. Well, we only have. I would love to actually hear more about the life story, your life story, and also different life story of how people get involved into Kechara. But we'll leave it to later part because we have some schedule to catch up. So I believe that you have prepared very detailed slides.
Yes.
Please enlighten us about how Kechara works.
Okay. Oh, well, back in 2007, when I first joined as a volunteer, they were just a small group of people run and a group of friends coming together to just do something nice over on a Saturday evening. Then by the year of 2008, we are already asking questions about how what more can we do. So that is when the first committee set up, and the founding members they decided to do this, take partake in this activity, and wanting to grow this activity to benefit even more people and see how else we going to help the homeless people on the streets in a better way. So that's how it all started way back in 2008, where we registered ourselves as a society, as an individual entity registered with the registrar of society, to begin formally as a soup kitchen and run a soup kitchen operation on a weekly basis back then. So after a few years of running, of course, I mean, a lot of people were inspired by this activity because homelessness was literally unheard of back then in 2008 itself. A lot of people do not know. And the activity that we started was like going down to the streets on the Saturday evening, going around, looking for them and hand the food to them. So that was just it. But that activity itself became ever so popular, where it spreaded word through the mouth of everyone. Whoever who came, they felt really fulfilling because they were able to hand over food to them and solve their hunger problem. As time goes by, and we were asking questions again, why are they there in the first place? Why? And along the way we found out even more homeless people in other areas. We started off in Bukit Bintang area, and then we slowly venture to other areas such as Chowkit, in Brickfields, in Petaling streets, and many other areas within Kuala Lumpur itself. And that's where we figured out that, okay, there were actually many of them out in the streets, but why? Why? So we started to profile them, letting them know that we are there for them, and trying our very best to know them better. And the only better way is to do by profiling them, so which we did, and we managed to find out more about them by talking to them more, yeah, apart from just handing out food. And sometimes for the clients on the streets, which we refer to them nowadays, we don't call them homeless, but we call them clients as a mark of respect. At the same time, with the motivation that we felt that these are the individuals that we want to help, and we want to do it professionally. So that's why all these activities we have a registration team, we have a medic team, we have a counseling team, we have many food team, we have a response team, and so forth. But the gist is we wanted to do something to help them to get away from the streets, and this is what we did. Actually, I decided to become a full-time in the year of 2008, where I was invited to be the staff, and the only staff back then, to organize the activity. And because why it's becoming more popular, you need someone to go out and talk to people, you need someone to organize things, and all that. So that's how I joined, and did the registration at the same time, profiling and all that. So we had to do the manual count, we had to do a lot of research and statistics, and we found a very alarming problem within the homelessness itself. Many of them come from a very bad upbringing. Bad upbringing in the sense that they were very they grew up not the same way like many of us do. Yeah, first of all, they were deprived of a basic upbringing that everyone deserves, such as a complete set of family. Some grew up don't even know who their parents are. Some grew up, yes, they have parents, but they live a life as though they do not have one. And many of them, in fact 79% of them, are actually like this. Yeah. And then 83.7% says that they are actually school dropouts. They have problems with education. They are deprived, and yet they do not do well. They do not tend to do well in school, and many of them are actually school dropouts. So with that statistics itself, it actually tells us a lot of story from that. So seeing this, we expedited in our activities and all that, and we started helping some of them to find jobs, helping some of the elderly clients to find shelters. Some of them who have problem with drug addiction, we send them to, we recommended them to the government rehab centers. And some who are actually stranded in the KL town, we actually arrange them to go back to their hometown and respective homes. And some who couldn't even find their family members, we help to reconnect them. So this is why, one of the reasons why I'm so fond of Kechara Soup Kitchen back then, because I figured out that they're not just about giving food, but it is more about helping them to solve their situation. So meaning to say, we are putting a stop into their problem. We are recommending a solution to help them to get away from the situation that they are in now. So with all these statistics that we managed to pick it up from, we were wondering if there's anything else that we can do to prevent it from happening in the first place. So that's how we come up with a food bank program. In 2012, we launched this food bank program with an aim to help the families in need, because we felt that over the years that since our inception in 2008, over that 4 years of learning homelessness behavior, their background story and all that, we felt that attention is very much needed in helping the poor families, because the main reason why people go homelessness is actually poverty. Without money, you are not able to sustain your life and sustain your livelihood. Yeah, you cannot pay much expenses, you cannot afford a decent education. You may say, yes, education in Malaysia is free, but you know what? You still need to go to the school. You still need tuition. You still need basic guidance on how to score higher marks, how to do well in certain subjects, which we felt many of the poor families do not get to do that. And one of the main reasons why people go homelessness, remember what I say, is poverty. And many of them grew up from that sort of background in our research. So that's why we felt it is important for us to have a food bank program in order to establish a foundation where people will be helped from the very, very young age before they grow old. One of the main reasons why homelessness exists is because of urbanization. And then as people who do not have a very solid foundation, as in education and then the family networks and whatnot, they are not able to sustain their life better if they have they land themselves into that kind of situation whereby they have to compete with another person, they have to compete with every other people. So it's hard for them to survive especially in the city, and that's how people go homeless gradually in later on in their lives. So we decided to come up with this program called the Food Bank program, where we with an aim to just deliver some food to the poor people, as in the show in the video just now, yeah, um, where we thought by addressing this, then families can save up money to spend it on the education for their children, so that these children, when they grow up, they have a better chance of surviving in this modern world. So along the way, excuse my long story, but as we do the food bank program, we extended help to the families. We found out that a lot of them are actually from the single mothers or women with many children, and literally they are stuck at home. Yeah, it's not just women, but sometimes it's men as well. Yeah, so we figured out that maybe it's also good that we bring an element to help them to live away from poverty. So in short, we try to help them to break the poverty cycle. With food banking alone, you cannot really help them to break out from the poverty level, but you are able to provide basic sustenance to the families in need, where they will be able to at least save up some money and plan for something else, yeah, like emergency spending on like emergency and all that. But something that really would help them will be education. Yeah, a lot of people would agree about this. And by doing this, we have to come up with another program. So in 2017, we figured out maybe we should train these single mothers or women at risk, or individual at risk, in short, with some skills, basic skill sets, something that easily can be learned, such as sewing, as per shown in the video. And this year alone, we have already started on this baking program, where we teach them how to bake cookies and all that, so that they can earn extra money on top from the food that we have already been giving them. So it's a long-term project, and we do not intend to drop any one of these programs, but we actually wanted to do more, and that's how along the way we are working with some hypermarkets, esteemed hypermarkets, by rescuing their surplus food, like producers like such as vegetables, fruits, and buns, and then some dry provisions as well. We're talking to some of the food manufacturers, and collect from them, and then extend it back to the poor people that we are serving, in hope that we will be able to break the cycle of homelessness cycle, let alone, if not the poverty cycle. So it's a very I wouldn't say holistic, but this is something that we can think of at the moment, how to resolve the situation from the grassroots level itself. So that's how we wanted to in short, we wanted to change the life, or have a better, improve the quality of life of the people that we are actually serving. So this is the first slide we are talking about. And yeah, next slide, please. So as you know, and along the way, it is really hard to achieve some recognition, especially in Malaysia. But the kind of work we are doing, I'm not saying that we are looking for recognition here, but it's always nice to be recognized. And this is one of the main thing that we found, that it is something very refreshing, that we have gotten the tax exemption status from our very own government, where I personally feel that our work is being recognized by the government for benefiting the poor, helping them with the work, to work together and benefit the people in our community. So next. Yeah, along the way you can see we have achieved many things, and lately in this past for the past few years we have grown exponentially, especially we are more and more recognized in the international level, where I myself representing our society here, Kechara Soup Kitchen, to the international conferences, where we talk about how is the best practice, what is the best practice to to do food banking to help the poor to break the poverty cycle. So a lot been done, a lot of groundwork's been done. I have to thank the team behind me who's doing all the groundwork. That is that's very refreshing because it really help not only the society but the people on the ground itself. Yeah. So this is what I felt that it is very refreshing, and I really needed more help from the public, especially volunteering. We're talking about donating food and all that, because it is something that really very very close to my heart, and you can see from the photo itself, from that this slide itself on the top right, you can see I'm actually one of them inside. If you can see better, but I won't tell you who, but you just take a guess, okay? But no prizes for the winners, okay? Yeah. So next slide, please. Yeah, our network spans across the Peninsular Malaysia and also to the East Malaysia, where Kuching is one of the places where we have our volunteers helping to extend to collect the surplus food and also do some food banking in their own remote area. We are basically in KL, and we have set up two main branches in the northern and the southern region in 2011 that time. Yeah. Because there were some friends from the north and south that they felt that they were very inspired that what we do, and they wanted to do the same to replicate the good work that we do in the northern and southern region. And then slowly we grew and grew and grew with more smaller groups in respective counties in the states, other states. So we are basically located in 10 of the 14 states in Malaysia itself. So we're talking about a massive scale here. We grow for the past few years. We have grown literally a lot. We're like 3-4 times over in terms of operation. So you can see for yourself the stats that we are showing here, and we are working with 400 over NGO groups already right now. So despite all that, yeah, we are very, very grateful of the support that we have been receiving so far, and we are looking to do even more. So let me just.
Sorry, Justin. I think
Yeah.
your voice is breaking for me. So is it because of the location of the microphone?
Is it?
Yes.
Can you feel? Can you hear better now?
Yes, better, slightly better.
Sorry. So so where did I let off now? So I can just continue, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we are literally located in all corners of the Peninsular Malaysia. There are actually we are in 10 of the states in Malaysia itself. They are in short. So next slide, please. So you can see what we are doing at the moment is actually benefiting the public as a whole, where we want to, through the programs that we run here, we actually trying to make a difference in the community itself by eradicating homelessness to its core, by providing the food banking and also through the soup kitchen programs that we are running. So we are not just about giving food, but we are actually helping these individuals and the families with some non-food assistance or welfare assistance, we call that, like providing job matching, sending them to shelters, or if not, if they need medical assistance, so we will see how our medical team can provide that help, or if otherwise we will make it a point to send them to the hospitals to get assistance, you see. So apart from that, because of our surplus food program, we are able to rescue some food and prevent food from being wasted, and then we are actually protecting the environment itself. And you might be asking some questions. Our empowerment program, like the sewing program we are running, we are actually using upcycle materials. So we in a way we are helping the society itself, helping the environment itself, because we are reusing some of these products or pre-loved products, rather than seeing it ended up in the landfills. We are reproducing it and turn it into another product. Yeah. Yeah. So it's very interesting. Next. And this is the soup kitchen program that I'm talking about. So it's not just about food. Every Saturday night we will give out food, about close to 600 to 700 packets per week. It used to be 1,300 in the past, but you would know by now that the sort of work, the impact that we have produced for our community here is huge, because we manage um, collectively, um, with working with other NGOs and government agencies as well. We managed to pull down the numbers of people on the streets by half, literally, from that 10 years time period of serving out on the streets. So now we're talking about 600 over people. Of course, it's not just about Kechara, but there are actually many other NGOs out there who is doing the same work. But my point here is like, we can never do it alone. We have to uh, hold our hands together and do it together, combine our effort to make sure that people on the streets are helped. Because, as I said, they do not have a good system. They do not have a good um, safety net and also social service system that in Malaysia that can help um, people who slip through the cracks of the wall to get a better living standard. You see, so this is where Kechara Soup Kitchen is formed, is here to provide that sort of help. Next. Then you can see from this alone, the sort of work we do is not just limited to one race, but in Malaysia, because we have many different races. So that's why our motto is also called Hunger No Knows Barrier, because we felt that when we help, we should not look at the color of the skin. We should not discriminate what sort of religion they are in, as well as their gender. So it is not right in that sense that we should only help certain type of people and not the other type of people. But here we are talking about a very dynamic and a very, what you call that, muhibah, if you say in Malay. Yeah, we are talking about like many different people. We are helping many people, and we are also receiving help from many different people from different background coming in to volunteer. So this is something that very normal in Malaysia and probably not so usual in other parts of the world. Next.
Okay. Justin, I think you may have to adjust your sound a bit again, because it seems that it's getting a bit soft again.
Okay, sorry. Maybe it's my the area that I'm in. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, okay, better.
Okay. So next slide, please. Yes, this is the empowerment project that we are talking about here. You can see from the photos itself, does the cookie spring some interest in you? You know, do you think you will be supporting this sort of projects that we are doing here? Because um, we're not helping them with basic skill, but we are also helping them to sell off the items, because many of them do not have that sort of network that normal shop needs in order to provide that sort of assistance to them, you see. So by embarking on this empowerment program, we are able to not only build confidence in the people that we are training, but also making an income for them, so that they can have a better life. You know, I mean, I'm not joking here, because we have managed to change countless people from their very humble beginning. Now we are able to at least improve their quality of life. I'm very proud to say that, because recently I found that one of the ladies were actually having a problem in her house. She has like 5 children, and then her husband would not be able to work because of an accident that he endured. Then she is suddenly becoming the breadwinner of the family. So not only that we managed to provide her some food bank assistance, but we have managed to train her up, help her a bit, realize that she has some basic sewing skill. We managed to train her up to produce some of the most delicate products ever. At the same time, doing this baking literally every day. So from zero income, now she's able to at least score at least 800 to 1,000 ringgit per month. From nothing at all. And this is just the part time. Yeah, it's not just even full time. So I'm very glad that programs such as this are able to help people like her, um, which I feel is the main aim of Kechara Soup Kitchen. You know why we started off Kechara Soup Kitchen back in 2008 is because of this very, very own reason. Next. Yeah, of course, this is where we would like to seek help from the public because, well, every society who is doing anything good for the public deserves some amount of support. And in many ways, I felt that many would figure that yes, it's good to donate to good causes and whatnot. That now these days, when the pandemic is still on a high and a lot of people are not doing well, it is harder for NGOs like us to survive because we ourselves will also suffer due to the fact that we rely 100% on donation because we don't have any business. We are not allowed to do any business. But then again, if we were to split our attention to do something else in order to stay afloat, I would rather concentrate our attention to literally help the people, help the poor, help the homeless people to come out from their cycle.
Wow, that's a very enlightening, and also I learned a lot through Justine's sharing just now. Thank you, Justine. Although
Thank you.
in the part that I have to actually have extra attention just to keep track of what you're saying. But before we move on to another part, actually we are overrun by a bit. I just want to show to our friends from Hong Kong, Taiwan. We have a good friend from Taiwan who is asking about MM2H, Mr. Shen, who is happen to be a Muslim as well. Okay, so he has been to Malaysia many times. So we hope that if he comes here, he can also enjoy something that is meaningful. Okay, so Malaysia will welcome you, Mr. Shen. And but for us today, our topic is actually charity. So I've actually written something here in Chinese for those who could not understand what I'm talking about. But what I want to showcase today is about Touch and Go. One of this e-wallet payment system that is currently prevalent, the dominant type in Malaysia. Okay, so if you want to pay for your groceries or for your anything you want to buy from 7-Elevens, Happy Marts, or even supermarkets, nowadays the main payment system that everyone would use is definitely Touch and Go. So I want to showcase one thing is that from this Justine's presentation just now, actually just about 2 hours ago, I actually make a payment using Touch and Go. Okay, so this one is actually making use of Mr. Yong's this 380 ringgit body check, this cash vouchers which he has won, and he decided to donate it out. So I actually make use of that to actually make use of Touch and Go, to use Touch and Go apps to actually donate it out. Inside these Touch and Go apps, I want to show something. One is that they have various systems. You can actually use it to pay for parking as well. Okay, for some shopping centers, you can actually just tap and then pay using Touch and Go. So for anyone who wants to relocate to Malaysia, besides having a bank account, I'll suggest you install Touch and Go apps into your this mobile. Okay, so for Kechara Soup Kitchen, once I scan it, of course it comes to this page of how much I want to pay. And I key in 380 Just click confirm. Then I have to key in my PIN code, which I'm not going to disclose here. But right after I make a payment, then there will be such a receipt being given, and you'll show that the time, which is today's 8 o'clock, and the reference number, and also, of course, the transaction number. Once you have this, just send Kechara Kitchen an email. Okay, so I'll just bring back the email address again. Oh, you can WhatsApp them. Okay, is that your number, Justin?
Yeah, this is the hotline number actually.
All right, the hotline number. So just send them the details. Then they shall issue you a receipt accordingly. Okay. So of course, if you don't understand how to do it, or you prefer to contribute more than just cash donations, I'm sure they have a lot of meaningful activities that need volunteers, don't you, Justin?
Yes, we have. We do have a lot of activities that you all can join. All you need to do is just log on to our website. There's a lot of information that you can read about us, and I hope that my simple introduction here would be able to inspire all of you to come and do something meaningful. Regardless wherever you are, whether you're in Hong Kong or in Taiwan, wherever you are, you you can join. You can link up with some of the charities, local charities in your area, where you can contribute your effort. It doesn't have to be in money, but by contributing your effort, I think this will send a good message out to the public, where people, you would never know, you see, people might be inspired by your good work, and they wanted to join in as well. So I hope this will be a very, very good platform for you to start off contributing to the community if you haven't already done so.
Okay, thank you, Justin. So is there any questions from the crowd? Is everyone ready to contribute now? But before we end the day, I'd like to thank Justin, okay, for allowing us to actually understand what we can do in Malaysia for something meaningful. Okay, so
Thank you,
there are
Vincent.
many forms of charities, but I always find that the charity that can cater to the most needy in the society is always the most meaningful. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is what I believe in as well, Justine. So,
Yeah.
okay, do you have any words to actually the final words that you want to say to the crowd?
Well, thank you very much for joining, and I would like to thank all of you in advance. If you are going to be inspired by this video, and to go out and do your own put your own effort, and contribute to the people in need in your areas, that will be very, very wonderful. And this is one of the main motivation why I want to do this live session here. But before that, I would like to thank Vincent again for inviting me and his fabulous team to help sort out the technical difficulties and whatnot that I was experiencing, and also yeah, thank you to everyone, and I would like to um, shout out to every one of you. Please always remember to think about others, and think about the people whenever we go. Others, when we spend more time thinking about others, you will find yourself happier.
Thank you, Justine, for the meaningful night. Okay, before it ends, we have one of the video that we're going to share with everyone. It's about the international school in Malaysia. So the reason why we bring out this video, which we have recorded in the past webinars, is it's also important to educate your children about what is meaningful in life. Okay, I'm sure that the international schools will also contribute in that way. Okay, thank you, Justine. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
You can stay
Thank
put
you,
if you
everyone.
haven't, for the crowd to actually stay put if you haven't watched the GEMS International Schools webinar before. So everyone, have a good night. See you around. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Tonight we'll have a sessions about GEM International School. The principal of GEM's International School, Mr. Duncan Grice.
Hi everyone, Taiga Ho, Selamat Malam, Tiaba Boy. Good evening everyone.
GEM's International School, which has one of the largest compound of international school in Penang itself.
Our vision is to be a school where every child can thrive. And to do this, we believe in nurturing confidence. And for that, you need a feeling of safety for children. I always say that schools, and I'll get onto facilities later, but facilities are second, buildings are second. Schools are always about people first. If you don't get that relationship right, you can have the greatest facilities in the world, and children are not going to learn if they don't feel safe, they don't feel valued, and they don't feel known and respected. In an ongoing journey of discovery, students flourish through being happy, engaged, challenged, and valued, and are able to question, reflect, and confidently communicate on their progress. And key words for me there is that they are happy, that they're engaged, that they're challenged, and that learning should be fun. Our targets, you can see our results there. They're as good as results as any international school in the world, really. You can see our percentages are only our second cohort of Year 11 students as well. We've got those results. Our current Year 13s will be our first graduating A-level year group. We have 10 of them in that year group right now. This next year, actually joining from Year 11, we've actually got 17 staying on to do A-levels, which is fabulous. That's our highest score, highest number that we've had ever at the school, which is fabulous. Of our 10, they already have offers from 4 Russell Group universities, which are the sort of creme de la creme of universities in England, if you will. And you can see medicine, mechanical engineering are 2 of the subjects that they've been offered to go to those 4 universities. We also have offers from other top universities such as Leeds, Surrey, Portsmouth, Kent and Essex for our students as well, of the ones who are travelling overseas to continue with their studies. A few of them obviously are staying in Malaysia to continue at the Malaysian university. These are GEM's 4 core values, and all staff and students are encouraged to embrace and live these 4 core values. Why? Well, simply we believe in the holistic development of a person. So these are the 4 things that we try and incorporate into everything that we do. You have a read of the subjects that we currently offer. We've expanded our choices this year in our exam years to include design technology, further mathematics, and physical education as well, as a number of children were interested in doing design technology, physical education, and further mathematics. So we're offering more subjects every year, firmly believe in, which is to offer best opportunities we can for our students. So therefore we need to give more choice for our students. Children need to feel safe. They need to have fun. Learning is about fun. If you enjoy going to school, you'll be a better learner. We've expanded our EL department for next year from 4 dedicated staff to 6 full-time staff, just to offer better opportunities and support and intervention for our children who have English as an additional language. Likewise, with our inclusion education for our student services, that department has now got 2 dedicated staff in for next year as well, which is excellent. That means we can really focus on those students who need that extra support. Technology, we have dedicated computer science teachers in secondary and in primary, and a fabulous IT department on the technical side who will sort out any issues that you have. We have 2 school nurses who are lovely ladies who will look after you and look after all our children. We have a safeguard committee. Children need to feel safe. We need to make them safe and keep our staff safe as well. Actually, going on to facilities, where the name of the school seems to block out most of the building pictures of the school. So, but you can see it's quite a widespread campus. Beyond the building, you have the learner swimming pool, the junior sports hall. You also have the outdoor play areas at the back for the children and around the side, which aren't labelled. It's a big campus, and here are some of our facilities and resources. But remember, as I said earlier, schools are not about buildings and resources, they are about people. You've got to get the people bit right first, and that's what has been my main focus in this first year of my principalship at the school. We have virtual reality section. You see the goggles there. The children actually use that augmentation, design things with it as well. It's really excellent when that can be used. We're at Lego robotics room as well. We have a design technology lab. We also have a computer lab. However, most of our technology is portable and goes to classrooms. So we do have one set up as a computer lab, but we do have a number of trolleys which actually get booked out and go to classrooms. The technology is portable and actually goes down into the students. We're also doing a bring your own device as of September for secondary. Most students bring their laptops into school anyway now, so that will free up more of our laptops to actually be used with our primary children as well. It just means that we're improving our provision. We have 4 art rooms across the school, 2 in secondary, 2 in primary, 1 in upper primary, 1 in lower primary. And with our design technology as well, it's really important that children have those chances to be creative in that way. We also have some large shared learning areas, which we have parental information sessions in, but also a chance to spread out and have some intervention sessions going on with small groups of students, or larger groups having presentations given to them. The bottom right slide, you can see our entrance hall with the parents' lounge and coffee bar in it as well. We are blessed with a great deal of space around the school. We also got dedicated library. We have 2 for primary and for secondary, so 2 libraries in the school. We're very big on the creative arts, music, drama. We have a large multi-purpose hall as well, which can seat around 500 plus people when we have our presentations and productions and things. We also have a black box studio that you can see. To those we have with mathematics and science, we have our Wondrous Working Wall, which is a wonderful resource to have as a teacher. And it's something that I used to have at a school I worked at in China a number of years ago. And to have students just actually working on a wall where they can see each other's thinking and reasoning, learn from each other, and ask, well, how did you get that? And as a teacher, you can literally sit in the middle of that room and actually look at various things. You can stop people and get people to explain what's been going on. And you can see who's struggling, how to help them, who's actually going down the wrong direction and when to stop them, and looking at learning and problem solving and collaborative learning, which are key skills in the workplace. Sporting facilities are great. We have our outdoor football field. We also have a Astro for the smaller guys. We've got outdoor basketball courts there for sport. We've also got sporting facilities inside. We have a primary sports hall. We have a large secondary sports hall, which has a big indoor basketball court and 3 badminton courts across it. We are well blessed in what we have when it comes to our sporting facilities. Swimming pool, we have 2 pools, a 25-metre 6-lane pool for our secondary, and we have a smaller pool for our primary school for our learners. And they are 2 beautiful pools, very well kept, nice areas for parents to actually observe swimming galas and everything else. So they were really, really nice. We have 5 science labs. We also have a dedicated 6th form centre for our 6th form students as well. And we have a wonderful dance studio. The debate space is there for debates, things like MUN, the Model United Nations. Whenever a discussion needs to be done, or opinions raised, or promoting something, or arguing against, the debate space will get used. We celebrate, Malaysia is a very multicultural society. We celebrate Deepavali, Christmas, Chinese New Year, Ramadan. We celebrate everything. And obviously we have various charity work that the students do with our house system to create money for their respective charities. That's a Set Gems advert, really. We see genius in every child. Every child is good at something. They have a talent at something, and it's our job to make sure we nurture that talent and let it come to the fore, and that they don't think that they are failing because they struggle in a certain area. Everybody has strengths, in the same way that all my staff have different strengths, and everyone brings something to the table to help create the holistic education that we do for all our children at GEMS.
Just to summarize up as what Mr. Greiser shared, because in GEMS GIP, we are very particular to focus on, we are not just a school, but we are actually a family, where all of us are actually working together with one another. It's like a big family, and I would like to call it a B school. Not say we are a B class school, okay? First is that we are a big school, and we are blessed with so many things, and with our Mr. Grice we are targeting to be the best school in Penang.